Okay, guys, so the series finale of WandaVision just wrapped up. And I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed with this series finale and this ending because, full disclosure, I loved the ending. I loved everything about the ending. I cried like a baby at the end of it. It gave me everything I wanted, even though we didn't get all these different cameos. Like, we didn't get like a Mephisto or an Ultron or a Doctor Strange or any of this stuff. Um, I think I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed because they are so focused on what they wanted to see that they weren't focusing on what Marvel and Kevin Feige was giving them, and that's a huge problem with the fan base in general today, especially the YouTube fan base, like people like me, because we do these weekly shows where we all theorize all this different stuff and we break down every last frame going, oh, this is this and this is this, and oh, maybe Ralph is Mephisto and this guy is Ultron, and all this stuff, and Doctor Strange is gonna come and we're gonna get the birth of the mutants, and we already build up in our mind what we think is going to happen to when we actually get what's going to happen. A lot of people might be disappointed by that. I say that with Star Wars, that happens quite a bit. You look at something like Last Jedi, so many people had so many expectations of what was going to happen that when they seen Last Jedi, they're like, oh, this is not what we wanted, and I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to give us something to talk about so we can build up hype for stuff. But it's also a good thing to keep your expectations in check, because not every time we're going to get and that's the bad thing, with a television show. Like, because you look at something like Game of Thrones, for years people built up what the end of Game of Thrones was going to be, and when they got it, everybody tore it apart. I love the end of Game of Thrones. I thought the end of Game of Thrones was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. I do have nitpicks with the end of Game of Thrones, but for the most part, the storytellers already have the ending in mind. So when we go and we start coming up with all these expectations that the mailman is this, or if you just look at Darcy doing this, like, that's not Darcy. But when in the actuality, it's always been Darcy that's been doing crazy, ridiculous things. So yes, she would stop every red light and let people. She's there for comic relief. Darcy was there for the comic relief. She played her character perfectly. Just because she stops at a red light doesn't mean she's being held by Agatha, or Black or Scarlet Witch is doing this, or any of this stuff. At the end of the day, we have to stop breaking down things to the point to where it ruins what the storyteller is trying to tell us. Yes, would have been awesome if we had I don't know who came up with the rumor that there's going to be a cameo that's going to be just as good as the Luke Skywalker. I don't know who came up with that rumor. No outlets that I follow, no legitimate outlets I follow says that. Like Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, none of those said there was going to be like a Luke Skywalker type cameo at the end of WandaVision. Apparently, Elizabeth Olsen said that, but again, no credible website I follow said that. But then it started going around, and everybody's talking about it, and we're talking like, what is it gonna be, man? Oh, it's gonna be Mephisto. Oh, we're gonna have Doctor Strange because it's gonna sub Doctor Strange. Man, this is gonna be the birth of the mutants, So much stuff was being predicted, and expectations were going through the roof. But if you go back and you look at what WandaVision was at its core, it was a girl who was heartbroken for losing the love of her life, and that devastation, she created her own dream world to bring back her love and live on the life that she always wanted. And by the time she realized another witch was involved, this is actually the origin story of the Scarlet Witch. You look at WandaVision, this is the origin of the Scarlet Witch. I thought the end of this episode it gave me everything I wanted as a fan of the character from the comic books. We see the birth of Scarlet Witch. Her outfit, oh my God, that was like the most sexiest outfit I've ever seen. I was like, yes. I waited years to see Wanda in that outfit, and they did it, and it was from the comic books, but it's modernized. It was dark. It was sexy. It was great, and she embraced the power, and she knew that she had to let that go. And like I want to say it's like sort of like the Titanic moment when they're putting the boys to sleep, knowing what's going to happen. And then the conversation with her and Vision in the house, I sat right there, and I cried during that whole scene, and I thought it was beautiful, and I sat there and go, we all spent so much time theorizing on stuff that's going to build the MCU that we don't sit there and enjoy what we're getting. And at the end, these 9 episodes are the origin story of Wanda becoming Scarlet Witch, and that's what they gave us. That's what they gave us. It was something very simple. It was a girl who was heartbroken that tried to her grief took a her grief manifested this reality, and she set right to everything that she did wrong. And it does send Easter eggs at the end. We do get that scroll reveal at the end. We do get to see Wanda in the mountain somewhere while she's reading up, studying, yet living in a separate world. That's probably gonna lead into Doctor Strange too, because we know Wanda plays in like they say it right in this episode that she rivals the Sorcerer Supreme. Agatha said that she rivals Sorcerer Supreme. Who's Sorcerer Supreme? Doctor Strange. So this is going to lead into the Multiverse of Madness, because we know that just because Doctor Strange 2 is called the Multiverse of Madness, so many people automatically thought that this was going to break into the multiverse and this was going to cause all this. And again, this is us theorizing as fans, and we're not sitting there and giving us what Kevin Feige and the showrunner and directors are giving us. We are so busy, theorizing X, Y, and Z that we're not looking at A, B, and C. And I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed with it. I thought the series finale, I give the whole series a solid A. I really do. It gave me intrigue. It gave me laughs. It gave me action. It gave me fist pump moments throughout the series. Is this the greatest show ever? Absolutely not. This isn't like a Breaking Bad or, even Mandalorian, right? I would say Mandalorian season 2 was definitely a more solid show than this. But if you are a fan of Marvel Studios, if you're a fan of the MCU, if you're a fan of these characters, then this gives you great stuff. Like this is so much better than something like Titans or Swamp Thing or whatever DC tries to give us. This is better. This is more methodically thought out. And when you look at it, you just judge it on what they were giving us. This was a great series. The 9-episode series. When they announced it and everyone was wondering like, what's the sitcom going to be? It was so much more than that. And if you just sit there and take your expectations and just breathe for a second and go, okay, we didn't get all those cameos, we didn't get Ultron, but let's analyze what we got. And you sit there and think about it, and you look at the end of Infinity War or at the end of Endgame where she is just devastated by the loss of her love, and this is Wanda coming into her own and becoming the Scarlet Witch, which would then lead into future MCU properties. And who knows, that hex probably still could have caused the mutants, because we do know that Monica Rambeau, her DNA has changed, so that could manifest in some mutations. They don't have to hit us over the head with it going, oh yeah guys, by the way, mutants are coming. It's still very, very possible that it was a cause, because there was a lot of people in Westview. So anyway guys, that's all I have. I enjoyed it. Solid A. Series finale, really good. We're probably going to, we're going to talk about it on Storms Live tonight. And just a great series overall. And for Marvel's first MCU miniseries, I think they knocked it out of the park. And now it's time for Winter Soldier. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later, guys.